Good morning, everyone. I think I was just staring at the screen there. Now, good morning. How are you this morning? My name is Holly Matthews. If you are watching outside of my lovely groups, my name is Holly Matthews. I am a former TV actress. I'm a self-development coach, a very straight-talking, no-nonsense coach. I like to keep it simple. And I am the founder of the Happy Me Project. The Happy Me Project is a podcast. It is a free Facebook group. It is self-study courses, in-person workshops, and this is pretty brand new. It is now a membership which you guys can join if you are not already coming from inside my membership, because I am streaming that into the membership as well. And so welcome this morning. Welcome. I feel like I haven't done a morning Facebook really for a while. I did one last night, but I haven't done one for a while. Good morning, lovely Hannah on Facebook. Anybody who is sitting in from YouTube and from Twitter, welcome this morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Some of you I can't see on Facebook, so if you're on Facebook, it doesn't always let me know that you are there. It just doesn't. I don't know why. I don't know why this is. But yeah, I feel like I haven't been able to do my Monday morning lives for a little while because there's just been a load of stuff going on. And when that happens, I don't BS you and just show up and not give you the good stuff. I only show up when I've got something that I feel is important to say, and I can feel I can show up and give you guys a little bit more. So this morning, I thought our topic could be, well, I thought about it the other day, but I thought our topic could be what to do when you hit a brick wall. And I don't know if any of you have felt this, any of you are feeling this, but let me know in the comments. And I can see that you guys have already started to preempt my next thought, which is, how are you today? And for those that don't know, I do this on a scale of 1 to 10. Good morning, Kat. 1 being rubbish, 10 being amazing, and everywhere in between. So let me know in the comments where you're at. And this is a moment for you as well, not just for me to connect with you, but it's a moment for you to connect with yourself and ask yourself, because maybe you've had a really busy morning so far. Maybe, I've taken my kids to school this morning. It gets hectic and busy and there's stuff to do. And sometimes in the morning we haven't taken stock at all. And we've got to this point, we're here. And I can see somebody's at 2 on Facebook as well. And Neil's here as well. Good morning, Neil. Welcome. And I can see somebody's also an 8 today, trying to be productive this morning. Wherever you are at, Kat's a 7 today. Amazing. And I know Kat, so I know this is a high number for Kat. Wherever you are at, no matter where it is, don't judge it. Just let it be. Just let it be what it is. And aim to, sorry, I'm just molting here. My hair's just coming out. My hair is not very attractive, is it? I love how I just sort of, chatting to you guys on here. I forget that you're actual human beings on the other side of there. And I'm just sorting my hair out and that. Hannah says, I'm a 7, definitely hit a brick wall, feeling a bit lost. I'm so glad that you're here and also that you're part of my community, proper, and you're in the membership as well, because we can work on this stuff. I think first and foremost, guys, that there is a collective feeling of hitting a brick wall. As we go into a new season as well, I think that can happen. As certainly here in the UK, it becomes a little darker. The nights draw in, and it has felt that we haven't necessarily had time this year. It's felt like it certainly has for me, and I know that some of my clients have felt the same, that it's just felt like the year has gone by very quickly. There was a lot of rules in place this year, a lot of things that we couldn't do, and then there wasn't, but it still kind of felt like there was. And we have been through, in the last 18 months, nearly 2 years now, we have been through a hell of a lot of stuff, a hell of a lot of restrictions, a hell of a lot of pulling back. And our lives have massively changed in many, many ways. And what our bodies did to protect ourselves is what our bodies do in times of any kind of trauma, is it kicks into panic and adrenaline, and I'm going to get through this, and it pumps our body full of cortisol. But after a time, we can't run off that adrenaline feeling, that feeling of let's get done. At the start of the pandemic, there was that sense of let's get done, let's sort this, we work together, and we reached out to our neighbors. And after time, that just doesn't feel like something we can sustain. It's not something that we can sustain. And so there is this feeling of this collective We're still here. There's still some stuff going on and we're still trying. And that's really heavy. And as you know, as we go into that new season, it makes sense that we might begin to assess, where am I at? Have I got to where I want to be? Maybe I haven't. You know, maybe I was expecting more this year. Maybe that hasn't happened. And it definitely is that sense of that wobbly feeling of hitting that brick wall. So don't judge ourselves if we are like that today. So you can see someone else is saying, I've had to make some tough decisions this past month, recognize I hit a brick wall, but also juggling far too much, needing to drop some plates, feel so much better for it after a tiny emotion session. Emotional sessions are important, guys, okay? And actually, this is really important. When we hit the brick wall, from that brick wall, we can create something really wonderful. I can see Laura's, good morning, Laura's a 3 today. And I can see someone's a 7. Buzz after under marathon, after no training, and still bossed it in 3 hours 46. That's incredible. Amazing. And I can't even say who that is, but well done. That is so good. And I can see somebody else, I can't see who it is on Facebook, is also a 2 today. So everybody, I can feel there's quite a difference in everybody today. We're all highs and lows. I would say I'm a little lower than normal today. I've got a bit of a cold. I've tested. I don't have COVID, everybody. But I feel like I'm a little bit run down. So I'm going to make sure that I look after myself today, because otherwise it'll escalate, won't it, into a bigger cold and a big feeling sorry for myself session. So I'm going to make sure that I do some slowing down. So first and foremost, and I think you guys have already kind of explored this, the first thing to do when we feel that sense of I've hit the brick wall is to identify what the brick wall is. Okay, take some time, tune in with yourself, whatever that looks like to you. For some of you, it might be closing your eyes, listening to music, some meditation type stuff. For some of you, it might be just having your cuppa or your cup of coffee. I'm thinking of a drink now. It could be listening to music, could be just sitting with yourself for a minute and asking yourself, what's going on? Not the bullshit story you might tell somebody else that I'm fine. None of that. Just ask yourself, maybe even want to look in the mirror when you do this. What's going on for me? Why am I feeling like that? And we can see Hannah's already identified that when she hit that brick wall, she recognized that there was just too much happening. There was too many plates being spun. And we can get into this, and sometimes we have to for a time, but then we have to recognize, okay, so what can I do to just, what plates can I put down? What plates can I give to somebody else? But noticing first and foremost, what is going on? When you hit that brick wall, what thoughts were you feeling? What thoughts were you thinking? Sorry, what feelings were you feeling? What was going on for you at that time? What were you doing when you felt that, I've hit the brick wall? Doesn't necessarily mean that that's the exact thing that it was, that is the issue, but it might give you a clue as to what's going on. You know, what is happening for you at the moment? Identify what the brick wall is. Have you experienced this feeling before? Has this come up for you before? Do you know this? Do you recognize any signs of something? What is happening? What is the brick wall? Kat's saying sometimes the brick wall is actually eye-opening, though. Sometimes out of our control, and now we have to work out how to get yourself out of it. Absolutely. I could not have said that better myself, Kat. Absolutely. A brick wall for me can often be that backs against the wall, backs against the ropes, you know, feeling of, I got to come out with something. Yeah, I've got to work this out. That doesn't mean stiff upper lip. That doesn't mean avoiding anything. It means going, I've got to find a way. And that takes me to my next point, which is once you've identified what the wall is, when you've got an idea, it could be this. Assess the wall, right? I'm going to rinse this metaphor a lot, okay? Bear with me. So assess the wall. You've identified what's going on. So what next? Is this wall something you can personally knock down? Is it in your control? Is this a wall that ain't going anywhere? You're going to have to get a ladder and climb this wall. Is this something that you can knock down with your pal? You need to both get that mallet together as a team and knock that wall down. Is this something that you need some professional help with? Is this wall? Is it something somebody at work can help you with? Is this a work issue? What is going on for you? Assess this wall. Do you even need to climb the wall? Do you need to just accept that the wall is there? Okay. Explore things. Explore the challenge that you are facing, which is the wall, right? That's the challenge. It's the challenge that you're facing right now. What is going on? This feeling, this brick wall. Explore it. Assess it. Look at what options do you have in your life to face this challenge. So get out your pen and paper and write down every kind of option that there could be to face this challenge in whatever, what can you do? What are your options? And I want you to go as far-fetched as possible. There's so many options. Some of them are ridiculous, right? You know, you could get a spoon. I'm using the metaphor of the wall here as the challenge. Obviously, this is ridiculous. You could get a spoon and spoon your way through the wall. Might be a bit of a ridiculous idea, but I don't know what your challenges are. So, you know, whatever it is, there are many, many options. We think of the first few. We think of usually give up, bury my head, and some extreme option. Leave, give up, quit, whatever. We think of extreme options first, and we think of the low bar, easy options, but they're rarely the only options. Maybe you speak to other people. Maybe you jump into either my membership or my Facebook community, and you ask questions of the people around. The membership that I have, which is now open, is absolutely a space for growth and a space for you to connect with people on that same journey with you. Okay, so if you have not yet joined the membership, this is the next step for you in definitely having your team of people to help you conquer this wall in some way. And I can see some of the comments as well. I felt complete overwhelmed. The added pressure was stopped me from focusing on what I wanted to do. So the work-life balance, it was like a double-edged sword. It was not only making you feel crap, it's actually hampering you getting to the next stage of your life. And that's rubbish. And I'm so glad that you recognize that. And Neil's saying, it's Neil, you and my girlfriend taught me that brick walls are life's challenges. And if you don't have walls, you have a boring life. Absolutely. These things are, you know, they're sent to try us and everything. But if we didn't have them, if we didn't have the brick walls, we didn't have the challenge, the thing to climb, then we wouldn't appreciate things in the same way when we get to the other side. And I can say, and someone saying, I used to sweep the wall under the carpet. Oh yeah, for sure, right? We're very good at just hiding the wall from every big rug over the wall. And it's very obvious to everybody because we're snappy, we're sad, we're not living to our full potential. All of these things, the wall does not get to be swept under the carpet. We have to assess it. We have to identify it. We have to look it in the eye. We have to deal with it. We do. We have to feel, deal, then heal. That's the way that it goes, okay? So assess the wall. There is a way around it, okay? So if you're in that space now today where you are like, I'm there, pen and paper, what are the options? What's going on? And what are the options to try and work around that? Next up is the only way past this wall, apart from working through the actual challenge and finding a solution to the challenge itself, is to shake things up a little and try something new, okay? To try something that is, because you probably tried a few options when it comes to hitting a brick wall before, but now it's time to try something that's a bit left field. It's a little bit like you've not tried this before, okay? If you've tried some of these options and then you're still feeling that you're at that wall stage, you still feel like that you can't get through, then you've got to try some of these obscure options. And I was thinking about this the other day, of this feeling when you hit that brick wall, our natural inclination is usually to kind of, you know, hide, to cry, to get in our beds, to just hide away from the world. And that sometimes works, sure. Sometimes we just need a rest and we need some time out and we need pause. And sometimes that is the option. But let's say you've tried that and you kind of feel you're there for a bit. What about if we tried the exact opposite? What if we pushed ourselves to get ready, get dressed, and actually make more effort than normal, wash our hair, put some makeup on? What would that do? I'm not saying it's the solution to the problem itself, but would that shift something enough that we could get into the right headspace to start dealing with a bit of the challenge that we're facing? What about if we're feeling super unsocial and we just want to hide from the world? We don't want to speak to anybody, but actually that could be the thing that pulls us out of it. Because again, sometimes we don't want to people when we're feeling rubbish, but actually could being social, could be meeting up with your friend, meeting up with other people, connecting with people, could that actually be, good morning, Laura, and could that actually be the thing that does pull you through? So it's exploring all of the options and then sometimes trying something that doesn't feel like the most comfortable option at first. It doesn't feel like the most comfortable option, but seeing what happens if we do that and does it shift anything? Just having a play with this. And lastly, my last thought on this is, and I think this is important always, whatever's going on for you, is practicing absolute radical acceptance of yourself. And what I mean by radical acceptance is knowing that even with all of the stuff that you have going on, even with all of the mistakes and all of the challenges and all of the times you feel like you've revisited this goddamn wall, right? And we chuck all the judgment on top of that. Even with all of that, could you radically accept yourself and go, I am a human being who is doing the best that I can right now, and I'm okay. And this wall may well be there for a bit. It may well be there. It may be a wall that you have to revisit. It may be a wall that you can't control personally. And in which case, do we just radically accept the wall? Do we paint the wall? Do we draw I never pronounce this, a mural? 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 You know what I mean? A nice, pretty picture. Do we work through this? How can we make this, if it has to be something that's in our world, if it's not something we personally, let's say for example, you have somebody that you love that's sick and it's not something you can do anything about, what can you do around that wall? Can you build a garden? What can you do to make the wall excuse me, feel less difficult and less challenging? What can you do? Because there are options. I know it's not easy, guys. I know it's not. When you hit that wall, I know that it is not always easy when you're at that wall. Sometimes it's really rubbish. And that's why it's important to stop what you're doing. Take some time to assess, find out what some options are. Also recognize that these, we have these times in our lives where these waves come, and sometimes sometimes they resolve themselves. Sometimes doing nothing is a perfectly great example, and just stopping to pause is a really good option. So decide today, if you are like our gorgeous Hannah at that brick wall stage where you think, I just, blah, 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 to life right now, just stop for a minute, okay? Don't do anything rash. Don't do anything extreme. Just think, take some time, work out what's going on. What are you feeling? What might be the thoughts that you're feeling? Are your thoughts creating something for you that maybe isn't even as big a deal? Is the wall this big, but you've made the wall huge and it's actually something you can cope with? Because when we're feeling emotional, when we're feeling sad in any way, or it's just a challenging time, we make everything huge, right? We make everything much harder and it feels hard. It's not on purpose. Everything feels really hard. And so take some time today to assess it, to identify what might be going on under the surface, and then just see what you can do. Explore some of the options and don't always go for the obvious option. If it's not worked before and your option is, I just want to hide, and Hannah, I can see Hannah, I say work from home, getting up, showered and dressed definitely helps you focus so much better. Yeah, me too. So and that's why I use that option, because if I'm feeling rubbish, what I want to do initially is just want to hide in my bed and not do anything. Now, sometimes that's not an option for us. We might have people that depend on us. We might have jobs that we have, businesses to run, things we have to do. And so what can we do to help ourselves through to the next moment? And for me personally, it's the same. I need to get up and get dressed. So I washed my hair this morning because I knew I had a cold coming on. I knew I felt a little bit, I thought, I don't really want to look at that face. I don't want to look at the sick face. So I would like to look at somebody who looks good. So then it will make me perhaps, I'm not saying we can always push through everything like that, but perhaps it just shifts something. And it actually has. I think if I hadn't got dressed this morning, I really would have just hidden from the world. So it's really important. And Laura Jane says, I could do with a trampoline to get over mine, a really bouncy one. Well, I think that's a perfect option. And I think you are taking those steps, Laura, to do that. And when I say think of like left of field options, that's what we need to do sometimes. We need to just get so brave. We need to get out a big stupid trampoline. We need to do something. I mean, it could be, and jokes aside, literally could be jumping on a trampoline. That's not a joke, right? So my daughters have got a little trampette in the garden. And the reason we got the trampette in the first place was to help with emotional stuff. So my little tip for you guys, actually genuinely, I know that's not an option for everybody, and I know that for you, Laura Jane, that's definitely not an option right now, but I'm saying like there are things like that seem really silly. So when you're dealing with tough stuff, so we used to get them to jump on the trampoline and kind of get out their emotion, or there was getting little balls of paper and rolling them up and just throwing them at the wall, or socks, getting loads of bundled up socks and throwing them at the wall. And you might feel really ridiculous. And as adults, you might think, well, that's a silly thing. I will not be throwing socks at the wall. Some of you might want to try that today. It's really fun, throwing things, or throwing a ball in the garden if you've got a garden, or punching a cushion. These things help sometimes, and they might seem so silly, but sometimes we just need to do something. And when we do that, sometimes we feel so silly, it makes us laugh. And then we think, I can cope with this bit now. I can cope with this bit now because I laughed, because life is ludicrous at times, and life is silly at times, right? It is ridiculous. Sometimes it chucks us some stuff and you think, you have to be fucking kidding me right now. And we do think that. And sometimes just laughing at the absurdity of it all can just get us to that next moment. It is always about that, guys. I know I say this a lot, but it's getting to that next moment. The next moment that's going to be just that little bit better. It won't always feel like this. My brick wall friends, those at the wall, okay? Take my mallet. You're going to be all right, okay? Take Laura Jane's trampoline, and you are going to be okay. And if you are not in my membership, I know some of you guys are, so do reach out, do get joined up to the membership, because there is, as you can already see, people talking in the comments, there is an amazing support network there for you, and people that will reach out next month in the membership. So we've done this month's coaching session, and people are working on that, hopefully, and doing some bits from that. And this month is recorded, so you can still get access to that. If you haven't joined and you missed the live, it doesn't matter. You've got access to the recording of that. There's an audio recording and a video recording, so you can listen in your car or while you're doing stuff if you don't want to watch it. And next month, we're going to be focusing on self-belief and confidence. And our session will be the first week in the month. And I do 2 sessions, so a 10 a.m. and a 6:30 p.m. session, so that you've got access to both. But again, if you can't be on live on any of my sessions, doesn't matter. They'll be recorded and they'll put in the members area. You also get access to all of my online courses as well instantly, and access to this incredible community as well. So guys, I'm going to finish up today, but I'm sending you lots of love wherever you are at and whatever you are doing. I have put links below this wherever you are watching it from, so you can access all the things that I've talked about. And just do something nice for yourself today. Radically accept all of the stuff, okay? And I'm sending you loads of love. Speak to you soon. Peace.